Her må man bryte isen, ass. Her må man bryte isen, og den svære er fortsatt under der. That's video from a recent trip I made with some friends to the forest where we went ice bathing. In this video I want to talk a little bit more about ice bathing, my experience, and whether I think it's healthy or not. Let's get to it. The very first time I went ice bathing was at a cabin trip with some friends of mine. And two of my friends got the idea to go down to a nearby lake with an axe and make a hole in the ice. So the rest of us were just sitting inside the cabin around the fire, kind of laughing at the two guys' attempt at making a hole in the ice. And then sometime after midnight, if I remember correctly, the two friends got back excited about the hole that they had been able to make. So we went down to the lake, which was kind of a muddy lake. A lot of the water wasn't really clean. A lot of mud and other stuff in the water. And I remember being very much afraid. So I had to gather a lot of energy, man up, and we just dipped ourselves in the hole, head underwater, and right back up. And we were like anxious to get up, so we told each other, okay, we're gonna pull each other up. So that was, I think that was a great experience. And it was a lot about overcoming fear. Not so much about the cold itself. And I'll get back to that. I'll get back to that about the fear. Okay, so during the next couple of years from that time, I went swimming and bathing in the winter with the same group of friends, and we had the challenge that we had to go swimming outside here in Norway for a whole year, at least once a month. So that was my introduction to ice bathing. Now over the years I've been ice bathing not very frequently, but at least a couple of times each winter. And I've kind of gotten over the fear. So I don't feel the same kind of excitement and fear before going into the water. Of course, there are still some instincts that tells me don't go in that ice cold water, but those are less and less prominent, I would say. So as I've gotten over this fear of ice bathing, it has become more of a social activity to me. I've never really followed Wim Hof's method or any strict system for ice bathing. It's just been kind of a challenge. And in recent years, it's a nice thing to do with friends where we push each other and you also feel kind of an adrenaline rush coming out of the water, having survived something so extreme. Okay, so this time when I went to the forest, my goal was just to find my breath, and as soon as my breath was controlled, I went out of the water. Now, in certain systems like Wim Hof's system, I don't know very much about it, but to me, I think that he recommends staying for longer periods of time in the water. And for me personally, I don't really like that, especially when it's paired with with heating up. Let's get into the health aspects of ice bathing. I think ice bathing has a potential to be very healthy, but it has to be in a system combined with breath and finding or generating heat in your body. The way I currently do it with my friends is we make a big fire, and it's very popular to do it combined with sauna. Personally, my best experiences with ice bathing has been when we've had no heat source other than warm clothes. Then you can really feel the blood pumping and feel the adrenaline rush to a much larger extent. And that feels healthier as well. So if you want to do ice bathing as a regular health practice, I think for me it's easier and more practical to do cold showers. Wim Hof himself talks a little bit about the difference between different kind of cold exposure. I'll link the video below so you can check it out. And he says it doesn't really matter, it's what you find convenient. But for me personally, I think it's important to not use extreme heat to counteract the cold. You should find that heat in your body. Or yeah, another point for me is that I don't have a lot of fat on my body, and I have some tendencies for joint issues in my elbow, for example, and just getting cold for the sake of getting cold isn't that effective. So if I were to use this as a health regime, I would focus a lot on the breathing. I know Wim Hof has a system of breathing. I'm not really familiar with it, but I think it's important to not counteract the cold, but allow the cold and learn from the cold and teach the body to generate heat. I think cold exposure is good if you do it regularly and focus on this, teaching your body to generate heat through breathing exercises and other means as well. But if you just do it as a... Or of course it's good to overcome that fear. But if you just do it as a fun activity, I don't think it has many health benefits. Okay, so thank you for watching. Peace.